Hey ladies, let's talk about some floral fragrances today. Florals can range from fresh to sweet and balmy to airy to mysterious to dark. There is an entire spectrum. So let's go through a few examples that I think are the best floral fragrances for you. Let's get started. So my first perfume recommendation is Oud Jaune Intense by Fragrance du Bois. This perfume has some pineapple at the top, it has some monoi, it has some yellow florals, ylang ylang, it has a lot of milky notes, and it's just a very creamy, rich floral fragrance with some fruity touch at the top. So it almost gives me a feeling of sitting in like a pool in Bali with floating breakfast and I'm eating pineapples. That is the feeling I get when I wear this fragrance. It just becomes this rich, creamy, milky floral fragrance. The longevity and projection on this fragrance is moderate. After a point, it becomes like a skin scent. The longevity as well is anywhere between 4 to 6 hours. To make this perfume last longer, I usually tend to spray it on my clothes as well as on my skin, so it just lasts longer. It does say Oud Jaune Intense, but I don't really get any oud at any point in this fragrance. So if that is something that puts you off or something like that, just don't worry about it at all, because I don't see any oud present in this fragrance at all, although the notes say it. It's just a general creamy floral fragrance and it's incredible. I love Fragrance du Bois. They make such refined juices. It is a very beautiful fragrance and I highly recommend you try this out. My next perfume recommendation is Atomic Rose by Initio Parfums Privé. This is a beautiful, jammy, sweet rose with some warm amber, with some vanilla. It has some pink pepper at the top to give it that sharpness as soon as you spray it on your skin. It's such a beautiful, intoxicating dark fragrance. It gives me a feeling of like a dark, mysterious woman. And I say woman, not a girl, because this is a bit of a mature fragrance. I see this on anyone who is 25 plus. I know it's very oddly specific, but it's just a very rich and a very mature fragrance. It gives that bold woman kind of a feeling. So if you're going for that vibe, if you're younger and if you're going for that vibe, then I would highly recommend you try this fragrance out. It's just a very seductive, sweet, sensual rose with some warmth from the amber. And I always say that you can never go wrong with Initio Parfums Privé. This is one of my favorite perfume houses. They make such incredible fragrances and I highly recommend you try this out. My next perfume recommendation is Addictive Vibration by Initio Parfums Privé. As you can see, there is a pattern. There is a clear pattern, guys. I am in love with this perfume house. This is a very beautiful, crisp apple with some orchid blossom, some orange blossom, some honey. It's incredible. It's a very airy, sweet, but floral fragrance. This perfume gives me a feeling of walking into an ancient temple with some mild breeze carrying the scents of orchid and orange blossoms. It's just a very beautiful, airy fragrance. I don't have any other words to describe this. It's just a beautiful fragrance. So I really urge you to try this out. It's a very underrated fragrance from Initio. I don't know why, but I don't really hear many people talking about it, but it deserves all the hype and I really hope you try this out. Also, if you have ever smelled Alien by Mugler, this is a very similar DNA. I'm not saying it's exactly the same, but if you like that fragrance, you may really appreciate this one. It's a similar vibe of some florals with some sweetness, with some freshness, airiness. So I think you will like it if you like that fragrance. So yeah, I hope you give it a try. The next perfume recommendation is Hibiscus Mahajad from Maison Crivelli. This, even though it says hibiscus, it's a rose perfume to its entirety. This has rose, this has some fruity notes from the pomegranate, it has some blackcurrant, it has some warm leathery notes, and it also has some spicy cinnamon at the base. This is a floral, fruity, sweet but tart but dark from the leather perfume. It's a very attractive, sensual rose leather perfume. The leather just makes it last forever on your skin. The longevity on this fragrance is 12 hours and beyond. It just never leaves your skin and your clothes. Even the projection of this fragrance is insane. It creates this enormous bubble around you, like a massive bubble of rose and leather, and it's just an incredible recommendation from Maison Crivelli. This is similar to Delina from Parfums de Mali and yet a bit different. I think the thing that makes it different from Delina is the presence of leather. They share a very similar DNA, but yet they are a bit different. So if you have tried one of them, I would urge you to try the other one, because you'll find some similarities and yet some, complex layered differences as well. The next perfume recommendation is Fleur Narcotique Extrait from Ex Nihilo. This perfume has a very citrusy opening with the bergamot at the lychee. This perfume has a very citrusy opening, but then after some time the flowers start peeking through. It has some beautiful peony, some freesia, some orange blossom, some jasmine, and it also has some musk at the base. So it's a very clean, musky, soapy, laundry, citrusy, floral fragrance, I want to say. It just smells very clean. It's like laundry, fresh, clean. This is a very inoffensive, easy grab, mass appealing fragrance. This can be your everyday fragrance. The longevity on this is a bit questionable, I want to say. Even after being an extrait, this perfume doesn't last very long. On my skin, I just got the first few hours, like 2 to 3 hours on my skin, and after that I could not smell it at all. So maybe you can spray it on your clothes, which will make it last a little bit longer than on your skin, but that is the only problem with this fragrance. Otherwise, it's just a beautiful floral soapy fragrance. The projection on this fragrance is also moderate. It creates like a soft bubble around you and then starts sitting closer to your skin as the time passes. So if citrusy, soapy, clean fragrances are your floral type of fragrances, then I think you should definitely try this one. So those were all my fragrance recommendations for you today. I tried to cover a lot of airy, fruity, floral fragrances along with some sweeter and also cleaner fragrances. So let me know what you think. If you have any floral favorite fragrances, let me know in the comments below. I would love to read through them. I post videos every Sunday, so I hope to see you then. Until then, spread those good vibes and beautiful scents wherever you go.